Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Dippin Dots by Chris Napolitano. If you would like to try this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. Normal sudoku rules apply. We are going to place digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every box. Oh no! I accidentally dropped all of my constraint types, flavours, into a bowl, took a whisk and mashed them together. What a klutz! Good thing I remember colour theory. Digits connected by an olive dot must be from different parities, one even and one odd, and differ by at least 5. So if this were a 1, this would have to be a 6 or an 8 to be at least 5 away from it, and of the opposite parity. Digits connected by a lavender dot must be consecutive, so like 2, 3, 3, 4, and from different entropic sets, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, and 9. So if this were a 3, this would have to be a 4. Digits in kilocages do not repeat and must sum to the number in the top left of the cage. So those 3 digits will add up to 14 without any repeats in. Okay, I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. Okay, the first thing I think to note is that the lavender dots only have 2 options, because to have consecutive digits that cross the entropic set boundary, they have to be 3, 4, or 6, 7. So we can mark all of those. Okay, 3, 4, 6, 7. Right. Okay, if this is 3, 4, then that's 7, so this would be a 7. And if this is 6, 7, that's 13, so that'll be a 1. Okay. All right. This is restricted. Oh, that's really, really nice. Okay. On here, because of the olive dot, I need a high digit and a low digit that are opposite parities. Now, because of this cage, both of those cells see all 4 of these. Right. Because I can't repeat within the cage, this can't be the same as this digit because these are opposite kinds of pink dots. Because if that's a 3, 4, that prevents that from being a 3, 4, making it a 6 or a 7, and that makes that a 6 or a 7. So that is a definite 3, 4, 6, 7 quadruple. This cell and this cell see both of these, 3 of them by box, 1 of them by cage. And we know they're 4 different digits. So this is either 8, 1 or 9, 2. 8 plus 1 is 9, which would leave 16, which could be 6, 7 with a 3. 9 plus 2 would be 11, which would leave 14, which would be 3, 4 with a 7. Huh. Really? Am I doing that right? Right. It's either 8, 1 or 9, 2. That's for sure. Okay, if that's 8, 1, that's 9. That leaves 16, which would be 6, 7 with a 3. Yep. 9, 2 is 11. That leaves 13, which would be 7 there with a 6 here. So that's 3 or 6. So that's 4 or 7. Okay. Then let's have a look over here. Okay, if this is 3, 4, that's 7. That needs 15 there, but I can't do 15 across an olive dot because 9 plus 4 is the largest I can do, which is 13. So it's not 3, 4. That is now 6, 7, and that is 13. That leaves 9 to go here without a 6 or a 7. So I can't use a 9, 0, so it's got to be 1, 8. And that 1, 8 removes 1 and 8 from there. That removes 1 and 8 from there. So that's the 11, which was needs 14. Sorry, needs. Did I do this wrong? I may well have done. All right, if that's 11, that needs 14 left over. So that would be a 7 there. Right, that's a 3, 4. That's a 7. That's a 6. I think I've got that right now. Yeah, glad I double-checked that pencil mark. I somehow thought that 11 from 25 was 13, but it's not, it's 14. All right, that 6 is looking down here, so that's not a 6. So that's not the 7, and that's not a 6. So if this is 1, this is a 7, 6 cage to remainder of the cage, and that's a 7. If this is a 7, then that's a 3, 4 cage with a 3 or 4 here. That means that 7 is in one of those two. That puts 7 in one of those 3. Okay. This 1, 8 is looking across here. So none of those are 1, 8, and that is a 1, 8 pair. This can't be the other of 3 and 4. This one can't be because it's in the column. So that's 3 or 4. That's a 5. 3 and 4 has to go with 8 and 9 in order to be at least 5 away. Okay. 5 can't go on an olive dot because there's no digit that's at least 5 away from it. So 5 has to go there. And there is going to be a 4 somewhere in this row which has to go with a 9. There is going to be a 3 which will have to go with an 8. The 1 and the 2 can go with 6 or 8 or 7 and 9, but the 6 has to go with the 1 and the 7 has to go with the 2. So along this row we're going to have the specific sets of 9, 4, 8, 3, 7, 2 and 6, 1. All right. So that can't be a 7 because that would make that 9. That would make that 2. My brain is not braining today. Okay, if that were a 7, that would be a 2, which it can't be. So that's not a 7. It also can't be a 3, 4, or a 2. So if that's a low digit, then that's a 1, because it can't be 3 or 4. It can't be a 2 because that would have to be a 7, which it can't be. So if that's a 1, that's a 6. If it's a high digit, it can't be 7, but it could be 6, 8, or 9. 6 goes with 1, 8 goes with 3, 9 goes with 4. Okay. This cell is restricted. Okay. This pink dot is a different flavor from this pink dot, because if this is 3, 4, that eliminates 3 and 4 from there, making it 6, 7. And if this is 7, 6, that eliminates the 7, 6 from there, making it a 3, 4 dot. This cell sees all 4 of those, 2 by the box and 2 by the column, so that can't be 3, 4, 6, or 7. So if it's a low digit, it's 1 or 2. If it's a high digit, it's 8 or 9. If this is a high digit, 8 or 9, that can go with 1, 2, 3, or 4, I think. Yes, but if it's a low digit, 1 or 2, it will go with 6 or 7. No, 1 or 2 can only go with 8 or 9 here, because right, 6 and 7 can't go here by sudoku. So that's 8, 9, or low. So, okay, so 7 is in one of these. Okay. What else have we got? We have a high digit on this olive dot. That has to be a 9, and it has to go with either 2 or 4. But 9 is definitely on that dot. 5 can't go there, so 5 is in one of those two. Let's think about this. Okay. If that's 9, 4, then that makes 13, and this is a 1. If that's 8, 3, that's 11, and this is a 3, but I can't repeat a 3 in the box. So it's not 8, 3. If this is 7, 2, then that is 9, making this a 5. So, but this 5 means that that can't be a 5. And if this is 6, 1, then this is a 7. Okay. So we have 6, 1 or 9, 4. And this is 1 or 7. Okay. So 7 must go on this dot. That must be a 2, 7, because it can't go on that dot. It can't go there or there. And it can't go here. So this is a 7, 2. So that's not a 2. Okay, this 3, 4 means that this can't be a 3, 4 pink dot. That's got to be the opposite kind. That's a 6, 7. That gives me a 6, 7 pair in this column, so that's not a 6, meaning that that can't be a 1. Hang on a minute. If this is 6, 1, that makes that a 7, but that makes that 6 and 7, and that would break that cell. So that can't be a 6. That's not a 1, therefore that is the 1 to go with the 4, 9. The 4, 9 is meaning that that is not a 9. 6 can't go here, so that's not a 1, so that's an 8. That's a 3. So that's the 1, 6. I don't think we know the order. Okay. This one is looking down at this 8. That gives me a 1 there. This 3 makes this a 4. That makes this 3 and this 4, and therefore this is 9. This 3 and 4 is looking down, making that a 7. So that's the 1. That's a 6. That's a 7. That 7, 6 makes this a 3, 4 pair. So if this is 3, this has to add to 10 in 3 digits without a 3, 4, or 5. And that's going to be 1, 2, 7. If this is a 4, then this adds to 9 without a 3, 4, or 5. That's going to be 1, 2, 6. That means that 1 and 2 are definitely in here. That's not a 2, that's a 7. So this is 1, 2, 6. And that's 9, making that 4 and that 3. Very nice so far. Okay. If this is a 6, this has to be a 1, but it can't be a 1. This is now a high digit, which is going to be 6, 7, or 8. And it can be any of those things right now. Okay. Where next? 6, 7 is looking across there, so that's not 6. Those aren't 6, that is. That resolves my 1 and my 6 up here. This one is looking across there. That's not a 1. So that's a 1. That makes this an even digit. And I need a 3 in one of those two by Sudoku. 4 by Sudoku goes there. So 3, 5, and 8 fill this column. 3, 5, 8. That's not a 3. That's the only cell left in the box, so that's a 9, which places a 9 here. This one is looking up. That's an 8. That's a 1. I need a 2 in the column, which can't go there, so that must be a 2. I need a 5 in the column, which must go here, making that an 8. That makes that 6. So we have 7 and 2 in the box, which must go 7 and 2. This digit is now an 8. All right, these two digits are 5 and 7. This one's not a 5, so that one is. And then we need 3, 8 to complete the box. This 6 is looking down. That's a 7. That's a 6. That's a 7. That is a 6. I need 12 more to complete this cage, and I can't use a 6, 7, or 8. So I need 9 and 3, and I do know the order, 9 and 3. Very nice. That 9 is now looking up to give me a 4 and a 9 there. This is a 5 and 2, which I don't know the order for yet, but that removes 2 from there. That's a 4-9 pair. This must be a 3. That resolves my 8 and 3. This 9 actually resolves the 4 and the 9 there. Very nice. 2 more digits in this column are 2 and 8, which I can resolve. 1, 5, 4. 1, 4, 5. That's not a 4. That's not a 1. In this row, I need 4, 5, and 2. That's not a 4 or a 5. That's a 2. Okay. That looks up here, giving me a 6 and a 2 there. Okay. Best place to look. Maybe it's here now. Okay. This digit sees 6, 7, and 9. So if it's a high digit, it's an 8. If it's a low digit, it's a 1. It sees 2, 3, and 4. So that's 1 or 8. So if this is 8, this is 3 or 1, both of which seem reasonable. And if this is a 1, it's 6 or 8, but it can't be a 6. So that could be an 8. Okay. Fine. Okay. Let's see. 3 in... no, maybe not. All right. Let's have a look at ones. 1 is in one of these two in this box. 2's. 2's in one of these 3. 3's. 3's in one of these 2. 4's. 4 is in one of these 2. Oh, something more useful, come on. 5's. Not super useful. 6's. Okay. Yes, that is a 6. 7's. That's a 7. 8. One of those two's an 8. 9. 9, not 9. Okay, one of those two is a 9. That makes that a 3-9 pair. That makes that a 4. That 3-9 makes that a 2 and that 9. That 2 makes this 2 and this 5. Nope, that makes that 5 and this 2. Let's get that the right way around. That is not a 2 and that is. So this is 1, 8, 5 in this row. And that's not an 8. That's not a 5. That's not a 1. Nine in this column can't go here, so that's the only place for the 9. Resolving the 9 and 3. That must be 1 or 5 by the column, which gives me a 1-5 pair in the row. That makes that 3 and that 5. That 3 and the 1 makes that 8. That makes that 1. That's 5. That's 1. That's 5. 4 there, 5 there, and a 1 there. That is an 8. And we're just finishing off with a 9 there, a 3 and a 4, which go there and there. And that was a wonderful puzzle. Thank you very much, Chris, for creating it. If you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.